Hi, I'm Akos Shankira, and this is Coaching with Akos, Real Estate Coaching with Akos. Today we're going to talk about negotiation. Already in one of the videos, we covered a couple techniques, right, on negotiation. One technique was never negotiate against yourself. We did that video, right? The second one was always say no twice. Those are two very important rules when it comes to negotiation. Those are basic 101 rules. That's why we call it Negotiation 101. Today, we're going to start talking about a few other techniques that are kind of Negotiation 201 techniques. A little more subtle, a little more refined. A matter of fact, if I've done it to you, you haven't even recognized that I did it to you. All right? So today we're going to talk about negotiation by distraction. Now, this is a situation where you want to get what you want, and you want the other party to think they won. I know. What do you mean they won? Yes, they're going to think they won because you set it up that way. I learned this technique when I was selling products to shopping channels. I had a 30-year career in front of the television camera. I worked on QVC, I worked on HSN around the world, and various shopping channels. And a lot of time when I got older, I would be the one selling them the product, not just representing it on the television camera. So when I had an appointment with the buyers, I had a list of things that I wanted to sell or achieve. Just like in negotiating your inspection addendum, right? You got a list of things that you want done, right? So what I would deliberately do is I would do the things, I get the presentation all together, I get all my facts and figures together, and then on the way out the door, I would ask my assistant, hey, add those two other items in there. And she would go, you had no intention of selling those to them, you thought they were not good. I go, I still don't think they're any good. I just wanted it on the list when I do the presentation that those two extra items were on the list, right? You starting to follow me now? So when I went to the buyer and did my presentation, they included two items that I actually didn't want to sell, or I didn't care about selling, right? Now, when the buyer reviewed everything in front of me, they'd make a decision. And the really good buyers would, of course, spot those two are weak items and would dismiss them, but buy the other stuff that I wanted to sell. Follow me now? You never get everything you want. And people go into negotiation thinking they will. You're not going to get everything you want, so how about this technique? Insert a couple things that aren't that important to you. That way, when the buyer buys or the seller sells, they think they won. Because they just can't roll over and accept everything you're presenting them. They got to feel like they won something. So give them something to win. Negotiation 201 technique. It's so subtle that the other party probably doesn't realize you're doing it. All right? So in those shopping channel instances, what would happen is the buyer did one of two things. They'd buy the item that I didn't want to sell them. I would usually come up with some excuse why I couldn't deliver that item. Because I didn't want to take the risk of it not selling, because we used to have to take the returns. Or the experienced ones, my gosh, I hope my shopping channel buyers aren't watching this right now. The experienced one would say, what the heck was Akos thinking? Those are never going to sell. Dismiss those. But they had control. You follow me? And I got what I wanted. Because had I got in there with just the items I wanted to sell, they would have rejected one or two of them anyways because they didn't want to buy everything I was showing them. It just doesn't feel right. So, insert things that aren't that important to you that you're willing to give up deliberately. That's negotiating by distracting them with the things that aren't that important to you. How does that work in real estate? I use this technique all the time in my inspection addendums, right? Well, you know, if you're using my inspector, I have a long list, or I could have a long list, depending on what's wrong. So for example, let's say the house has a bad roof, and let's say the house has a bad air conditioning unit, or one that needs attention or replacement, but has things like, you know, a small leak under the sink, or a cracked tile in the bathroom, or some other things that, you know, a handyman could take care of over a Saturday afternoon, right? Well, I watch my agents do this. Now, some of the agents, what they do is they walk in with their inspection addendum, and they leave off those little things because they figure my guy can do it anyways, and I don't want to ask him too much. What's the mistake there? The mistake is, let's say they accept your inspection addendum. They're not going to feel good about it because they're just basically rolled over and gave you what you wanted. You got to put stuff on there that they thought they won. So I say, don't leave it off. Put the little drip under the sink. Put the little crack on the tile. Put it on the addendum. Why? Because when they return it to you, they might say something like, all right, we'll do everything but not the air conditioning unit. But you can then say, I'll tell you what, listen, the air conditioning unit, the buyer can say, the air conditioning unit's really important to me. I'll tell you what, why don't you do the air conditioning unit? Let me take care of the rest of this list. If it wasn't on the list to begin with, that statement couldn't take place. Let me take care of the other things on the list. Why? Because I'm pushing back the air conditioning unit, which is a $7,000, $8,000 whatever bill. But if I didn't have this thing on the list, it would feel like you're just paying. But let me, it's give and take. But if you don't put it on the list to take later, you don't have it. So that's why you always add things that maybe it could be important. What's the worst case then? Yep, thank you. I'll take care of all this. You will? Okay. Even the polarity of the plugs? Wow. All right. You see what I'm saying? At least you have things to negotiate with. You're distracting them from the important things with some of the less important things, right? That's what I call negotiation by distraction. You're putting things in there that aren't that important, but it gives you the negotiating tools that you'll need later. I bet you a lot of you guys who've been on the other side of the deals with me haven't even realized I did that to you. That's why I call it negotiation 201. It's a little more subtle. We have a lot more things like that we'll teach you here in these videos with Real Estate Coaching with ACOS. I want you to subscribe to the channel. You know, that way, next time I have a video, you're going to get notified, right? Like this video if you learned something, right? If you're watching it on Facebook or something, like, subscribe, you know, and follow. I want you to use all those things. I'm ACOS Shankira, and this is Real Estate Coaching with ACOS. Thank you.